In this video, we are going to talk about how Julius Baer's Gaffe cost them millions in revenue. Julius Baer is a Swiss private bank that offers investment advisory and wealth management services to high-net-worth clients. But in 2022, the bank faced a hefty fine and a reputational damage for its involvement in a corrupt scheme with a Russian oil company. The Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, the UK's financial watchdog, fined Julius Baer International Limited, JBI, a UK subsidiary of Julius Baer, £18 million, $21.6 million, for failing to conduct its business with integrity. The FCA also banned 3 former employees of Julius Baer for their roles in the scheme. The scheme involved finders' arrangements between Bank Julius Baer, BJB, another subsidiary of Julius Baer, and an employee of Yukos Group, a bankrupt Russian oil and gas company. The employee was Dmitry Marinson, who worked as a financial controller for Yukos Group. Finders' arrangements are agreements where a person or a firm introduces potential clients to another firm and receives a commission for doing so. In this case, BJB paid Marinson finders fees for introducing Yukos Group companies to Julius Baer. This was done on the understanding that the Yukos Group companies would then place large cash sums with Julius Baer from which Julius Baer could generate significant revenues. But there was a catch. The finders' arrangements were not transparent or fair. They were based on a corrupt relationship between Marinson and some senior individuals at Julius Baer. In particular, uncommercial foreign exchange, FX, transactions were made in which the Yukos Group companies were charged far higher than standard rates, with the profits being shared between Marinson and Julius Baer. In total, Marinson was paid approximately $3 million as commission for facilitating business deals, including the uncommercial FX transactions, for Yukos Group. The FX transactions alone generated around $10 million in revenue for Julius Baer. The FCA found that JBI facilitated these finders' arrangements by providing banking services to Marinson and the Yukos Group companies without conducting proper due diligence or risk assessments. JBI also failed to monitor the transactions and report any suspicious activity to the FCA. The FCA said that JBI showed a lack of integrity and exposed itself to the risk of financial crime by participating in these finders' arrangements. The FCA also said that JBI failed to be open and cooperative with the FCA by not informing it about the concerns over potential fraud that were raised internally, and JBI only informed the FCA about the issue in 2014, after an external audit revealed the extent of the problem. The FCA also decided to ban 3 former employees of Julius Baer for their roles in the scheme. They are Gustavo Raitzin, former regional head for BJB, Thomas Seiler, former BJB sub-regional, market, head for Russia and Eastern Europe and JBI non-executive director, and Louise Whitestone, former relationship manager on JBI's Russian and Eastern European desk. The FCA concluded that these individuals saw and ignored obvious signs that the relationships were corrupt and failed to act with integrity or competence. The FCA also said that these individuals misled or obstructed the FCA during its investigation by providing false or incomplete information or failing to disclose relevant documents. These individuals have appealed the FCA's decision to ban them and are now presenting their cases at the upper tribunal, where they will be determined by an independent judge. JBI has not contested the FCA's fine and has paid the sum. JBI has also apologized for the events leading up to the penalty and said that it has introduced additional safeguards on the back of the events, including no longer accepting any finders' business. Julius Baer previously disclosed the payment of the fine in its half-year results. The bank said that it has cooperated fully with the FCA and that it has taken measures to prevent such incidents from happening again. This is how Julius Baer's Gaffe cost them millions in revenue. The bank not only had to pay a hefty fine, but also suffered a reputational damage and a loss of trust from its clients and regulators. The case also shows how important it is for financial firms to conduct their business with integrity and transparency and to report any suspicious activity to the authorities. Julius Baer's Gaffe did not end with the loss of clients and reputation. The bank also had to pay a hefty price for its involvement in the FIFA corruption scandal. This was a massive scheme that involved bribes and kickbacks for broadcasting rights to soccer matches, including the World Cup. Julius Baer was accused of helping to launder the dirty money through its accounts. In May 2021, Julius Baer reached a settlement with the U.S. Department of Justice. The bank agreed to pay $79.7 million in fines and forfeitures. This amount represented the bribes that were paid by marketing executives to soccer officials, and that a former Julius Baer banker helped to hide. The bank also entered a deferred prosecution agreement, which meant that it had to cooperate with the authorities and improve its compliance controls. The FIFA corruption case was one of the biggest scandals in the history of soccer. It exposed the greed and corruption of some of the most powerful people in the sport. It also damaged the reputation and finances of Julius Baer, one of Switzerland's oldest and largest banks. The bank's gaffe cost it millions in revenue, and also put its future at risk.